Hey everybody, so here are the answers to Tuesday's Candy Challenge. The first box says, name one thing that is certain to happen today. Well, when we talk about probability, we're talking about the chance of things happening. So certain means without a doubt, no question about it, it's going to happen. So it could be something such as you're going to blink today, you're going to go to sleep. It could be the wind is going to blow. So it could be all kinds of different answers. So you'll just have to judge based on what your child said on if they're correct or not. So we're still talking about probability on this one. And imagine that these numbers were put into a hat, put into a bucket, something. You would have the chance of pulling out a 2. There are 3 of those. There are 4 8s, and there's 1 7. So if you're looking at which one is most likely, that would be which one has the most pieces out of the set. And that would be the 8s because they have 4 opportunities to be pulled, which is more than any other number in the set. Now, which number is impossible to be pulled out? Impossible, we know, means could never, ever, ever happen. It is the opposite of possible. So if it's impossible, that means it's nowhere in this set. So for example, an answer could be 1 because there is no 1 in the set. Or it could be 3 because there is no 3 in the set. So that there could be a couple different answers for that one. Now this next one could be a little confusing if you the way it reads. So if this was too confusing, just get rid of it. Don't worry about it. It says Jess has 46 stickers in her album. Her sister took 54 of them out and threw them away. About how many stickers does she have left? Well, when you first read it, you think, well, if she has 46 and she throws out 54, she can't do that. That's not enough. But the wording was a little bit mixed up. And what it was supposed to mean was she has 46 stickers in her album now. Her sister had already thrown out 54 of them. It gets a little confusing. So it kind of got worded weird. So about how many stickers does she have left? Well, if she has 46 stickers in her album now, we would want to take 46 and we would want to round that to the nearest 10. And since it ends with a 6 in the ones place, the 6 means we're going to round up to the next 10. So 46 would round to 50. But again, if you wanted to throw that one out because it was a little confusing, we totally understand that. Next one, choose the numbers that would round to 50 when rounded to the nearest tens place. Well, as a reminder, if the ones place has a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, we round up to the nearest 10. If it ends with a 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, we round down or back to the nearest 10. So if we're trying to get all the numbers that would round to 50, either round up or round back, we would have 45, 48, 49, and 52. Draw 8 flowers and color half of them red. Well, as we know, 8 flowers, they could be the same kind of flowers, they could be different flowers. It doesn't matter how they draw them, if they use colors, different colors, whatever they want to do. The only thing that needs to make sure to happen is that half of them are red. And since we know 8 can be split evenly, there would need to be 4 of them that are red. Now, as for the other ones, they could be whatever color they wanted them to be, as long as half, which would be 4 out of 8, were red. All right, same concept for the next one. It says draw 12 circles. They can draw them however they want. They can be in rows. It's totally up to them. And it says put smiley faces on half of them. Well, the idea is they need to know that what doubles make 12. What is half of 12? It would be 6 plus 6. So we know that 6 of them need to have a smiley face. Now, as for the other ones, they can be left blank. They can have other faces. It's totally up to you, except the only thing is the other half cannot have smiles in them, but 6 of them would need to have smiles. What is the sum of 89 and 56? Again, sum means to add. So 89 and 56, since we're adding, we could stack them nice and neat if we wanted to and add them this way. Ones place, 9 plus 6 is 15. You can't put 2 numbers down here. I like to say there's only place for 1. So the 5 in the ones place stays down in the ones. We carry the 10 above the tens, and we have 1 plus 8. at 1 plus 8 plus 5, which makes 14. So you could say drop the 4, carry the 1 over to the hundreds place. Well, there's nothing there, so when you add down, you come up with 145. Now, another option for this would be to use base 10 blocks. So you could draw 89, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you could add 56. And when you add 56, you would want to add in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, what would happen here is you would need to make a 10, as we called it. So when you take this little guy plus all of these, you actually make a brand new 10. So you would draw a new 10 in there. And your leftover would be 5. So you would have a 5 in the ones place. When you add all of these, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you know that these can all trade for 100. So you'd be left with 4 10s and 100. And you can see it makes the same number. So whatever works for your child, they can try it both ways. You can challenge them that way. It's good to open it up to different ways. The table shows the number of points each team scored. How many more points, so that means how many extra points, did team 1 score than team 2? Well, what's cool is it tells us how many more did team 1. So that automatically says that, oh, team 1 has more points than team 2. So I know that I need to either start at team 2 and count up to team 1, or I could start with team 1 and take away team 2's points because both of them had that much and see what the extra amount of points would be for team 1. So the best way to do it, well, I shouldn't say the best, but the way that we're most comfortable with, probably from elementary school back when I was in elementary school, would be to take that 42 and take away the 21 points they both had. Bigger's on top, no need to stop. And bigger's on top, no need to stop. We get 21. Another way to do it would be to draw the base 10. So they had 42 points. I want to take away the 21 that the other team had also. So there's 1. I can take that away. I can also take away 20, and I'm left with 21. There's another way. Next one, what is the probability of pulling a square from these shapes? So by pulling, we mean if you were to cut them apart and lay them in a bag or put them on a spinner, if this was your group, what's the probability of getting a square? And as you can see, there are no squares in here. So certain means without a doubt, and impossible means could never happen. So the answer would be impossible. And again, find the sum of 78 and 92. Sum means to add. 78, stack it, plus 92. When you add your ones place, you get 10. You can't put them both down there, so you drop the 1, carry the 10. When you add up here, you get 17. You drop the 7, carry it over. There's nothing, drop it down. It's 170. If they wanted to draw it out, you could draw 78, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. I like to make a 10 frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to add 92. So I'm going to add 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I'm going to fill them in. 60, 70, 80, 90. And I could add my 92 here. Sometimes it's nice to use different colors to see your different numbers. And I noticed when I combined them, I actually made a 10. So I'm going to go ahead and trade that in, which is what we did here. And when I count them all up, I now know I have 0 ones. I know that this makes 10, so I trade those in for 100, which would be right there. And I'm left with 7 10s. Matches, and then my 100, so 170. Hope you did well.